And these import, whenever you run some imports and run some transform, it will definitely create the history and logs that whether you got any error or not, you can try to rectify them. We'll cover everything in import integrations section. So today, after this, the main thing that we are going to cover today is the form configuration. So there are some of the form configuration. Let's try to go to incident form. So there are two ways we can try to directly type incident and look for the incident application and try to go to that particular module what we want, or we can go type incident dot list. So what it will do is it will open that table list. So you can see now this is the main thing that I wanted to tell you. The table name is only incident because you have opened the list, so that's why it is putting underscore list in front of you every time, even from here, or even from even if you try to open it from here also, click on all, it will open the same incident underscore list table. So you can try to find the table name from here also. So let's say we're working on some incidents, let's say this guy, and we got a requirement to modify the look and feel of this particular form. What you can do is you can try to work on this particular form and modify some of the fields, make changes, move things here and there, and make some things mandatory and non-mandatory. So one question that I have, or one use case scenario that I have for you guys is which one was, and to remove some of those fields. Let's say I want to remove the service and service offering fields from this particular user form. Not user form, sorry, incident form. So the business comes up and ask you, okay, this incident form is very nice, we have the number, caller, category and subcategory, but we don't want these two fields. My form should be customly designed for my business, right? And there is no use of these two fields. So to remove these two fields, the business came to, please remove these two fields and we want all of the fields other than this. So what you can do is you can try to configure this form, and there are so many things. Some of them are very new, some of them are very old. Starting from the fundamentals is the form layout. So to configure any form, the look and feel, and change the layout of it, you can click on form layout. And so I told you in ServiceNow everything is a record. Yeah, it is again promoting me to try form builder. This is one of the latest thing. We will look at this one also, but not now. So the business asked you to remove these two fields, which is service and service offerings, from the incident form. What you can do is configure the form layout of it, try to find your specific fields and bring them to the left side. So these were the available fields and these were the selected fields that were there present in the form. So if you look at this thing very carefully, these are the fields that are available. These are the selected fields, cancel and save button, and the view. I will come to the view part later, and these are the form sections. If you try to open incident form again, I will show you what are all these things. So let's say I open one, I'm opening incident number 4. And so these were the fields. These are the form sections, notes, related records, and resolution information. You see, incident is one form section, notes is another, related records and resolution information. These 4 sections are there. What is incident? Incident is this section. The main section is an incident section. Notes is another section. Clicking on this guy, it contains 4 fields. This is different section. And resolution information, which contains these fields, is another different section. So
So
what
every
are,
field will be different, right? Like for the, if we consider the change, for the change it will be different. Change section, planning section.
correct, everything, every form have different sections.
Okay,
So
so
this,
forms means it is a like incident form, change form.
yes, exactly. So we are looking at an incident table form. uh, so this is the one. Every record, so this is an incident record, right? INC over 0004. This is one record. This record which is opened, you can see every record has a form. Even if you try to open a sys user table, sys underscore user dot list, and try to open any of the user, let's say user 9. So this is sys user table and its form. So user is one form section, and it doesn't have any other sections, but it have all these fields inside this form. So sys user also, everything is a record. A record contains, these are the columns you can consider in the database. These are the columns, but we call it fields or form fields. So everything is a form, and every form has a field. These are the different data types of the fields. Let's say something is string, something incident, date, true or false. All of these are true, false, and everything. So yeah, that's how the form works. And these are the form sections which I was showing you. This incident section contains these many fields, right? And this section contains 1 2 3 4 5, these 5 fields, right? So let me try to do, we removed 2 fields. One was service and another was service offering. We removed. uh, where were they present? They were present in the incident section. Let me I will reiterate this thing to you, but let me save them right now. I've removed 2 fields on this form, and you can see these 2 fields are completely removed. You're not able to see them. Previous incident, they were present there, service and service offering, but in this, they're not present. Now, if you will give it a refresh, they will be gone because this was not refreshed earlier. So now we have 2 of the fields removed, service and service offering. How we have removed it? We have configured and we have done form layout. So this was one thing. Another thing,
Similar way, we can delete or add the fields in other sections also.
exactly. So if the requirement comes up to you, please, let's say on this particular form, I will show you how to create fields also. Not even, work with existing fields. You can create new fields also. So let's say which one? Let's say your business comes up. To you and says, I want this active checkbox, which is this active checkbox, which is a true or false field on this incident form also, so that I can very easily say, see what all incidents are active and what are inactive. So inactive are the incidents that are closed, right? Others, everything that are work in progress, open or new, all of them are active. So business comes up to you and say, okay, I want this active checkbox also on this particular incident form, and the positioning will be, I want it between short description and description. I know it's a weird place, but I want an active checkbox between these 2 fields, short description and description. So how you can do it is, um, let me show you
So,
again.
Gaurav, if you want to make like some field as mandatory, we can do that also.
Yes, we can definitely do. We'll come to that. We're right now seeing these 2 fields are mandatory, caller and short description. So let me quickly bring one thing. Anyone can guide me how I can bring active checkbox between these 2 things? Where do I have to go?
3 line and then form layout.
Correct. 3 line configure and form layout. And the field that I want to bring in, I can bring in from left to right. Uh, so if I click on this and bring it to right, add, it will be, initially it will be added at the last. So, but I wanted it between short description and description. So I will pull it up between these 2, or anywhere, wherever I want to, I can pull them right there. But current requirement is between these 2. Yeah. So I have just aligned it between these 2 and clicked on save. So now the active field is also present there. And similarly, you can try to create some of the new fields. Let's say the business comes up to you and say, ta- 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 ta, add one checkbox. The name of the checkbox will be summary, and it will work like a description only, and it can contain 500 characters. So one quick way you can do is to create a new field which is not there. So you go to configure, go to form layout only, and you try to find whether we have summary or not. No, we don't have summary. So this just popped into my mind, and I want to create it. So you can create new fields from here only. So the default view is there, the section is automatically selected, and I want to create a field named summary. summary, which is a type of string, right? And what is the length? Length is large, medium, extra large, whatever it is. So let's say I give it a large field length, and I click on add. This is now added at the last. So summary is added at the last. I want to place it below description, so I can pull it up and save it. So this is a very short way of creating fields, and very easy way also. So this will refresh the form for you, and now you can see we have a summary field which will save thousands of characters. So if I try to save something, it will, I hope it is not 1000 right now, but if it is, it will short it down automatically. So you can limit the field characters also. So that's how you can add fields to the form. But okay, we added fields. Um, Now I want to give you one scenario. Let's say we don't have the date field, right? Okay. Uh, okay, add one date field uh, between priority and assignment group on this position. Can anyone guide me? Do we have the date field, or we'll have to create one? Let's try to see. So same way, I can go to configure the form layout and try to find whether we have an existing date field or not. I'm not okay. Okay, don't
Don't.
show me this again. Yeah, I didn't wanted to do that because I want to come up to form builder also. Yeah, but yeah, let's no
Okay.
problem. So we have a due date
Due
field,
date.
correct? So everything try to work like this way. If there is an already existing thing inside ServiceNow, try not to recreate it or customly create it. So we have a due date field which we can utilize as a date field. So we will bring up due date, and the positioning was below priority and above assignment group. We did that, and the due date is now present on this particular form, and we can select. But this select due date will work like this. Okay, I want this incident to be completed by 30th of May, right? Uh, so we have pasted date. This will take date and time. Okay, guys, one more thing. So we can see, right, this number field is taking characters and numbers also. This is a reference field. I know, but you guys should also know. And how can you actually identify what is the field type of it? So like we created a string field for this guy, right? And this is a date field. We can see by it is a date, but there is a short method. You can see how and what type of field it is you can go and right click on the field itself, right click and do show for the field name. So this particular field, the label is summary, but the actual name is u underscore summary, the backend name. If you click on show, you can see that this is in the table incident. The field name is this, the type is string, and the max length is this, and other attributes. The encryption is enabled or not. So similarly, we can do is, what is the type of this field? Right click on show. So we can see this is coming from the task table, inherited to this incident table. I will tell you what all these things are. The field name is active. This is a type of Boolean. Boolean means true and false. And the max length can be this, and ignore filter and every other attribute.
But why
Similarly, you
can
can,
I?
yeah.
How can it possible for Boolean max length?
No, if you try to configure this, configure dictionary, there is no max length actually. It is coming up as, so here we actually define the max length for this. So this was taking default values. Uh, I also need to check why it is actually showing you as a max length. But there is no max length. If you see the dictionary, it is coming,
Right.
it's showing you all of these things coming from task table. Type is true
Oh,
and false, which was Boolean. The name is, label is this, and the name is this. So the max length which we created, we can check for summary. Uh, right click and configure dictionary for summary, and we can see, okay, the max length is over here. So for string field,
Okay. That column name u_summary, it is taking like by default, right? We did not give that.
Yes, I will also. So we created this summary field from font configuration, right? I will show
Yeah.
you what is actually happening in the backend. That is also a backend thing only, but it is a shorter way to create some fields. So that is the shortest method how we created a field. I can show you how we can actually create. So we will create our own custom tables also and create every other field. So one question I want to give to you guys is, okay, we've added all of these fields over here. How can we add some fields, let's say, in this particular form section, related records? Let's say I want to uh, remove this. I want to remove this due date field from here. This should not be showing under here, priority and assignment group, and it should be showing that field only. It should be showing below prior problem. How can we do that? Or can you guide me where do I need to go at least?
I think the same way we have to go form layout and then go to the select the section.
Exactly. So you can see the default view is the view is default view selected. I will show you what are other views also, but let's just focus on sections first, because we were on default view and these were the 4 sections we were seeing. So incident is by default selected, and these fields are shown to you are only fields on the incident form section. If you select notes, so these are only these fields: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 fields are in notes section. Similarly, related records, 4 fields: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fields are there in related records. I wanted to do is due date. Yeah, I wanted to bring due date from that form section priority to this. So if I try to find due date is here. I bring due date below problem, below the split actually, and click on save. And now when you will see, the due date is added to that particular form section and added below problem. So you see due date is there also, and here also contains the same value. It is actually a replica created. So there are sometimes the business tells you, okay, I want this field, the same field to be here and there actually everywhere. So if even if I select a date, let's say from 30, I selected 21, and so that thing will also be changed to 21 when you will actually save it, because both of them fields are same. This is now changed to 21. No difference, nothing else, because we used the same field. How we can say this is the same field? Because the name of the field is actually due underscore date.
So if we created that any field in particular section, whether it is a related records or incident, it will be created for that particular form, right? It will be created
In that form section. Correct. So this form section is named incident, and this form section is named related records. So
yeah, but if I created in the related records section also, I can use that same field in incident section also.
incident section also, whatever you will make change. So these so you can say it's just a clone of it. Whatever value gets changed in one field, because they are same fields. Let me create one more date field for you guys, and then you can understand what I am actually saying. So let
So
me
in that
create.
case, we cannot create for incident section if it is a different section. Like if we take the incident and related records. So if we cannot duplicate the data here, right? Like we can create the field name that is a unique value.
Correct, we'll have to create a unique field.
Okay.
The name or the label can be same, but the backend name should be different. So let's say uh, I create one more due date field, but give it a different name. So let me create a new field, configure form layout, and in the incident section only, below our urgency, below subcategory, I want to create one field. The name will be same due date, and the type will be date time. So this is due date. It is now added. Let me bring it up. So one due date was present there, another due date is present somewhere below subcategory. Yep. So we have two due dates, newly created below subcategory and old, which we brought from the system below priority. If I save it, following fields are duplicated, due date, due date. Why? Because it is taking the same name. Let me now create a new field from a different method, just to show you that it is a different field. Another method to create a new field is right click, configure dictionary, and go to either table or form design or something. Let's go to table actually. We want to create a new field inside a table. So we have configured the table. The table name is incident, label is incident, the name, this is the backend name. ServiceNow will actually look to it, not this every time. So name is incident. This extends the task table. How, why, and what is this extending coming from? So task is the parent table for this. Whatever behavior or fields, some of the fields the task have, incident will try to inherit because incident is extended from this particular table. So these are the columns. This you can look at it as an SQL table. This is the table name. These are the columns. The name of the column label, what is the type, and everything. So let's try to create a new field from this way. I'm trying to create a new column. Clicking on new. So table definitely, yeah. Make sure everything is doing is on the incident table, or the table you asked to do. So type is date or date time. You can select any of the field type from this magnifying glass icon. We call this as a reference field. Audio, true, false, calendar, date, time, choice, colors, condition string, currency, decimal, due date, field name, anything. So let me try to select a field type which is of type date, time, and the column name I gave the exact column name, due space date. Clicking outside, it will give me a column name automatically. So the label is same, but column name is now different. Let me show you. Not required. Users is also not required. Going to an incident record. Open one. This field was, the name was due underscore date, and our newly created field name is u underscore due underscore date. So anything that gets added by the user will be prefixed with a letter u underscore. So anything that user creates which is not out of the box will be presented with a name. System automatically decides this name as u underscore that particular field in a small case using underscores. So u underscore due underscore date, that's how it actually, you can change it whatever you want, but it will it's a good idea to keep the system provided name, because other developers will also be able to identify, okay, this is users created field, or this is the field that is created after the other fields loaded. Let's say after the, this is not an out of the box field, just to make it this guy. So we have given it a column name, column label, and column name is automatically given by the system, and just simply save or submit this. So I've saved it. This thing is now added to the incident form, but where? Let me show you. So if I refresh right now, we will see another due date field, but where it is? Yeah, here it is. You see, it's here. Right click, and that's the same field, u underscore due underscore date. Let me try to bring it somewhere over here below configuration item. So the same thing I will do, configure form layout and bring it up. Below configuration item, the newly created due date field, which was present at the end. Below configuration item, I want it. Yeah, and do a save. The difference I wanted to show you is, see, the labels are same, but these fields are different. Why? Because their backend name is actually different. This is due underscore date, and this is the user's created field due underscore date, u underscore due underscore date. So if you change something over here, it will not change it, even though the names are same, but the backend values are different. So I make it 10th of May. It will reflect over here because these fields are exactly same, but it will not reflect over here. So if I try to give it a different date, let's say 1st of June, this is a completely different field. This is a completely different field, even though the labels are looking same, but the backend name is different. So this is 1st of June, this is 10th of May. So that's what I wanted to show you, the difference basically. So coming to other way of, adding some fields, removing some fields and everything. So let's just try to work with this way. Let's bring service and service category back.
How can we make this field as mandatory? Gaurav?
I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. Wait. Uh, bring these fields back using form designer. And in the same thing, I will show you how to actually make it mandatory. Or let's just see quickly. So this is the field that we created, right? So if you try to configure the dictionary of it, you've created a field like this. So there is this mandatory and read only and all of these things. If you click on this guy and do a save, it will actually make your specific field mandatory. But there's a catch, and there is actually a very important thing to learn, how to actually make some things mandatory or not. So right now your due date is mandatory. If you don't fill it, it will not allow you to save the form. How? Incident create new, and I have filled caller, right? I have filled this description, but I haven't filled due date. This was mandatory. The system will not allow me to fill, and it will automatically give me an error saying that this particular field is not filled. Please fill it. That's how we can make it mandatory and non-mandatory. If you want to make it non-mandatory, again, same thing you can do. Configure the dictionary for that specific field. Right click on that field, configure dictionary. You can directly go to that field's dictionary and make it non-mandatory again and do a save. So the question was using form